All right, shalom to the elect. I want to start by giving all the praises, honor, and glory to whom it rightfully belongs, which is Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Chakodash. And what I said was all the praises, honor, and glory belongs to Yahweh, who is the Heavenly Father, whom the world ignorantly calls God, and the name of his son Yahweh Shai, who is the Messiah, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus, and Yahweh Shai are not so-called white men, they are so-called black men. All right. Bahashem, meaning in the name of Chakodash, which is the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, ever well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. In this lesson, I want to go through the chapters of Genesis 25 to 27, man. All right. You know, recounting the story of Jacob and Esau. All right. And I want to get another precept. I'm just have it on deck here. Romans the ninth chapter, man. Okay. And the thing is, man, this is biblical. All right. Like, these Christians can't take these scriptures out of the Bible as much as they would want to. All right. These Christians can't take these scriptures out of the Bible, man. All right. This is in here for a reason. Okay. You know? Let me just get some. All right. So, without further ado, okay. All right. Let me get this. Let me pull. Wait. It's locked in. Well, this is in the Bible, man. In the New Testament, don't nothing change. All right. The Lord has a chosen uh people, okay, that he chose for himself, man. All right. And ain't nothing gonna change. Okay. And ain't the Lord ain't gonna switch it up for nobody. All right. You know. But however, let's start. So this is the book of Genesis, chapter 25, starting in verse 1. It says, Then Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah, right? And if this is your first time seeing it, and all right, and you're not familiar with Abraham and everything, all right. Abraham is one of the forefathers of us so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Americans. Okay, you hear in the Bible Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right. Well, this is who we dealing with. Okay, and we come from that seed line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, we come from that seed line. All right, and it was a chosen seed line that the Lord is dealing with. So Genesis 25, starting in verse 1. Then again Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah. Right. And it's going to list some of the sons of Abraham, and we're going to get some scriptures, Lord willing. It says that she bare him Zimron and Jokshan and Midian and Ishbak and Shua. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold on. So Keturah, she bare him Zimron 1, and Jokshan 2, Medan 3, Midian 4, Ishbak 5, and Shua 6. It says, and Jokshan begat Sheba and Dedan. All right. And the sons of Dedan were Ashuram and Letushim and Lumim. All right. It says, and the sons of Midian, Ephah and Epher and Henoch and Abida and Aldaah. All these were the children of Keturah. Okay. Then it says, and Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac. All right. Because Abraham and Sarah had a child, and his name was Isaac. Okay. And in the Hebrew, Isaac means laughter. All right. Yatazachak. See, Yatazachak. All right. That's Yiddish right there. All right. But the way you say it in the Hebrew is Yatazachak. It says he laughs. It means laughter. All right. Yatazachak. It's a laugh, mock, play. All right. Let me just make sure everything is all right. You can see everything. Okay. So all right, let's continue. Right. It says, and Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac, but unto the sons of, and this goes to show you that even back in the ancient days, all right, our forefathers had more than one wife. Okay. They had more than one woman they were dealing with. All right. So what's all this talk of you can only have one wife? And in the kingdom of heaven, the Israelite man is going to have multiple women. All right. That's just how it's going to be. All right. regardless of who likes it or not. Genesis 25:6. But unto the sons of the concubines which Abraham had, Abraham gave gifts and sent them away from Isaac his son, while he had lived eastward unto the east country. Okay. Verse 7. And these are the days of the years of Abraham's life which he lived. 100, 60, years. So a score is 20. So 3 times 20 is 60. So he lived 175 years, pretty much. Right? It says, then Abraham gave up the ghost and died in a good old age, an old man and full of years, and was gathered to his people. It says, and his sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah and in the field of Ephron, the son of Zohar the Hittite, which is before Mamre. Right? Now Abraham, he also had Isaac and Ishmael, right? It says the field which Abraham purchased of the sons of Heth, there was Abraham buried and Sarah his wife. And it came to pass after the death of Abraham that Yahweh blessed his son Isaac, and Isaac dwelt by the well Lahairoi. I'm saying that right. All right. Now it says descendants of Ishmael. Now these are the generations of Ishmael, Abraham's son, whom Hagar the Egyptian. I'll finish it and explain. It says, whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's handmaid, bare unto Abraham. So, all right, Abraham, okay, we just read how, he had sons of Keturah, all right, then, he had passed, he lived in a good old age, Isaac and Ishmael buried him, all right. So verse 12, it says, now these are the generations of Ishmael, Abraham's son, whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's handmaid, bare unto Abraham. And these are the names of the sons of Ishmael, by their names according to their generations. The firstborn of Ishmael, Nebajoth, and Kedar, and Adbeel, and Mibsam, and Mishma, and Duma, and Massa, Hadar, and Tema, Jetur, and Fish, and Kedema. These are the sons of Ishmael, and these are their names by their towns and by their castles. 12 princes according to their nations. And these are the years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years. So 137 years is how long he lived. And he gave up the ghost and died, and was gathered unto his people. And they dwelt from Havilah unto Shur, that is before Egypt, as thou goest toward Assyria. And he died in the presence of all his brethren. All right, moving on. Now it says Isaac's sons. Okay, it says, these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Isaac. So, another one of the sons Abraham had, once again, is Isaac. Okay, and by the way, Yahweh Shai, Lord and Savior, one of his past reincarnations was Isaac, man. Two quick precepts. This is the book of Matthew. Actually, I'm going to just get this one. Matthew chapter 1 and verse 1. And it says, the genealogy of Yahweh Shai, the Messiah, the book of the generation of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, the son of David, the son of Abraham. All right, because, Yahweh Shai, okay, who was the son of David? King Solomon, right? So, but Yahweh Shai also is King Solomon in the past reincarnation, okay? Then it says, the son of Abraham, okay? Because Yahweh Shai, who was one of Abraham's sons, Isaac, okay? So Yahweh Shai, all right, was Yahweh Shai was Isaac, man, okay? He was Isaac, all right? Just wanted to get that real quick. So Genesis 25 and starting in verse 19, and these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Isaac, right? Now I'm about to go into Isaac's children. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padanaram, the sister to Laban the Syrian. So Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah, all right, to wife, right? Verse 21, and Isaac entreated Yahweh for his wife because she was barren, meaning she couldn't get pregnant, right? So he basically, went to the Lord. It says, and Yahweh was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. So the Lord allowed Rebekah to become pregnant, because that word conceive means pregnant, to become pregnant, right? Verse 22, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahweh. Okay. And All right, so yeah, so these children, all right, that's within Rebecca's womb, which are two children, all right, forefathers of two nations, two separate nations, right? They're actually fighting within the womb, okay? So, real quick, all right, because we was just talking about, actually, no, I'll read down. Actually, no, I'm gonna explain it because we was talking about different sons of Abraham, like Ishmael, Keturah, seven sons, right? However, the Lord isn't dealing with them, okay? Lord is dealing with a certain seed line, man. So this is the book of Romans, chapter 9, starting verse 1. This was written in the New Testament by the Apostle Paul. It says, I say the truth in the Mashiach, I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Spirit, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh, meaning his literal, you know, kinsman, man. Let me look at that word kinsman, right? Kinsman.
Strong's G 4773. Sungenes. Sungenes.
Sungenes, right? And it says, of the same kin akin to, related by blood, in a wider sense of the same nation, a fellow countryman, right? And Apostle Paul was an Israelite, a Hebrew Israelite, all right? So it's like we're Hebrew Israelites, okay? The Messiah is a Hebrew Israelite. He came from the tribe of Judah, all right? Where it says, for I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites, right? Now listen to this. So he's talking about the Israelites, right? To whom pertaineth, now let's show you that this word pertaineth means belong. All right, let's look it up in the Edom online. I actually know first, because people, if you tell somebody to look it up, they're just gonna go to the regular definition, the regular Google dictionary. But pertain, it says here, right? It'll say here, be appropriate, related, or applicable to. Concern, yeah, it concerns the Israelites. Relate to, be related to. All right. You see, somebody will still try to say, see, but it doesn't say belong. Now let's show you the word belong exactly. Okay. Edom online. The word pertain. Pertain. Okay. Early 14th century pertaining. Be attached legally. All right. So from old French partenaire. Look, to belong to. That's all right. To belong to, man. All right. Even down here it says from late 14th century as to belong to as a possession. All right. Or an adjunct. Belong to as a one's care or concern. All right. But belong to. All right. So let's read it again. Romans chapter 9, verse 4. Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth, to whom belongs the adoption. All right. How shall adopting us back to the Father? Wait 1 second. It says in the glory, all right, in the covenants, yeah, the covenants, old covenant, new covenants for the Israelites. It belongs to the Israelites. In the giving of the law, because who was the law given to? The Israelites. In the service of the Most High, and the promises. Okay, so the promises also belong to Israel. Okay, now it says this: whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Hamashiach came. All right, who is over all, Yahweh blessed forever. Amen. So the Lord only came for the nation of Israel. Right. Now continuing on, it says, not as though the word of Yahweh had taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel. And a lot of Christians will say, see, so, you talk about Israel this, Israel that, all right? However, they don't understand that there's the Israel of the Most High, all right, which are the elect of Israel, okay? So what this means is not everybody that's an Israelite is of the elect, okay? Verse 7. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children. All right, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. All right. So now, it's kind of referring back, starting to refer back to we was reading, right? You know, so it says neither because they are the seed of Abraham or they are children. All right. So Abraham had many sons, like we just read, the sons of Keturah. All right. Then he had Ishmael, you know. But just because those sons are from Abraham doesn't make them the children of the promise. You see? It says, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. All right. You know. So the Lord will have it like this, through Abraham, you know, um, pretty much though Abraham had many sons, the promise will go to Isaac. All right. And Isaac had who? Jacob and Esau, and Jacob was accepted and Esau wasn't. Right. But in Isaac that shall thy seed be called. It says that is, they which are the children of the flesh, right? Meaning the sons, those different sons that came from Abraham, okay? These are not the children of the Most High. So though they come from Abraham, doesn't make them the children of God. But the children of the promise are counted for the seed. And you can read Galatians 3:16. Okay, I'll get it, actually. This is the book of Galatians, chapter 3, and verse 16. Oh, man. Galatians 3:16, right? And it says, now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He saith not, and two seeds as of many, because once again, he had a lot of children, okay? But the promises weren't to those different children. It says, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Hamashiach, okay? Because, Yahweh Shai, he was Isaac in the past reincarnation, okay? And so that's who the promise, went from after Abraham to Isaac, okay? And it's going to go from Isaac to Jacob, all right? But I want to, in Romans 9, as we read in here, right? So now that we got that established, all right? So now let's continue. Genesis 25 and verse 22 again. It says, and the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahweh. Verse 23, and Yahweh said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two men are. So what nations? Okay. The two forefathers of the nation of Israel. Slakia. Whoa, that was definitely off. I meant Slakia. Don't listen to that. What I meant to say was these two forefathers of the nation, pretty much Slakia. I said saying it again. The fuck. Two nations are in that womb, meaning you had two men, you had two boys, all right, that would grow up to be men, and each have their own separate nation, okay, of people that would come from them. All right. You had you had the forefather of the nation of Israel in Rebecca's womb. You had the forefather of the nation of Edom in Rebecca's womb. Okay. And they would each grow up and have their own nation. You so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Americans, you come from um Jacob, okay, whose name was later changed to Israel. And you so-called white people, you come from Esau. All right, it says, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people, the Israelites, shall be stronger than the other people. We see this today, okay? That's why you have people like, well, just look at the athletics, man, okay? You know, that's just one example, in athletics and strength and everything. We're stronger than these so-called white people. And then mentally, because man, they'll off themselves quick. All right, but Jake will go through hard times and still fight through it. You see, you know. So the one people shall be stronger than the other people. Now listen to this. And the elders shall serve the younger. Okay, meaning the person who comes out of the womb first, him and his nation of people are going to serve the one who comes out of the womb second and his nation of people. All right. See? So it says, verse 24, when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, meaning when it was time for Rebecca to have pretty much to give birth. Let me get that in another translation. NLT, when the time came to give birth, Rebecca discovered that she did indeed have twins. Now, Christians will be like, see, or even just scoffers, they'll be like, see, it says twins, so what are you talking about? Esau is the white man and Jacob is a black man. What are you talking about? They look the same. Well, no, all right. That's not, it's not talking about those twins because you have first, right? You have this, right? Identical twins. This is the type of twin that they think the scripture means when it says that. It says identical twin, either of a pair of twins who, as a result of developing from a single fertilized ovum, are alike in all genetic characteristics, including sex, and typically very similar in appearance. Okay, so let me get some images, right, of identical twins. Identical twins, for example, you know, they look alike. They're kind of alike. Okay, I mean, there's different spirits and everything, but okay, I mean, they're different people, but it says they're almost all alike. It says are alike in all genetic characteristics. Okay, and it says and typically very similar in appearance, but this ain't the case with Jacob and Esau. Okay, they're not alike in genetic characteristics, and they're definitely not alike in appearance. All right, so what type of twin is it talking about? And it says that it's talking about fraternal twins, man. All right, it says fraternal twin, either of a pair of twins who, as a result of developing from separate fertilized ova, right, are genetically distinct. That means different, even genetically. Okay, and that's why the scripture was saying, it just said up here, one people shall be stronger than the other people. You know, makeup is different, two manner of people, different people, man. Okay, it says are genetically distinct and not necessarily of the same sex, but they can be times. In this case, they are. Jacob and Esau are both men. It says, or more similar in appearance than other siblings. Okay, you know. So it let me get this right. So you have this here, right? Fraternal twins. Okay. Now with this, all right. You know, the identical twins. All right. Twins come from the same. I believe this is an egg. All right, or it says a cell, but pretty much they're the same in the womb. Okay, but fraternal twins, they each had that, that even in the womb they still separated. All right, somewhat, you know. Oh, right here, all right, you have this term monozygotic, dizygotic twins. Mono, identical, fraternal, separate. You see, so this was the case with Jacob and Esau in the womb, man. All right here, look, fraternal dizygotic twins, two eggs released from ovaries. Each egg fertilized by separate sperm. Each embryo implants in womb separately. Okay, separate placentas and separate inner sacs. So I was just thinking real quick how somebody could say, well, looking at the diagram, well, you said that they were, they fraternal and they separated. They got two different eggs here. You know, how they fighting in the womb. All right, well, look, you see the diagram. They're still in the womb, but still, even then, they separated. You see, two different placentas here. I mean, how the fuck are they gonna get birthed? Okay, it's not like she got two stomachs. All right, so they were in the womb together, but they are different. All right, and let me type this in. Hold on. Okay. Do fraternal twins look different? Right. It says yes, fraternal twins can look different. Appearance: fraternal twins can have different hair, eye, and skin colors. Boom, off the bat. I don't even gotta say nothing else. All right, so this explains the situation here with Jacob and Esau. So these twins are not identical twins. These are fraternal twins. Okay? They look different, different characteristics, etc. It says, and the first came out red. So now the firstborn is being birthed, right? And the first came out red, all over like an hairy garment. And they called his name Esau, right? So Esau is the one who came out of the womb first. Okay? It says all over like an hairy garment, right? And it's not saying that because it says all over like a hairy garment, it's not saying that he, was hairy, you know, when he came out. It's not saying he was red and hairy. It says all over like an hairy garment. Because when you go, right, let's look this up real quick. Exodus 25, right? And this was going into, as you see, the offerings for the sanctuary going to the tabernacle in the wilderness, things that was needed to put the tabernacle in the wilderness, with Moses. Remember, if you ever heard about the story of Moses, you know, um, in the wilderness with the with the well, not temple, but pretty much the tabernacle in the wilderness, man. All right, you know, there were different things that were needed to build it. Okay, but I want to get a certain precept. So Exodus 25:1, and Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, that they bring me an offering of every man that giveth it willingly with his heart, you shall take my offering. So, Jake was giving things to make the tabernacle of the wilderness. So it could be made, right? Verse 3. And this is the offering which ye shall take of them: gold and silver and brass and blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen and goat's hair. Now listen, and ram skins dyed red. Okay? Ram skins dyed red. So when it says Genesis 25, all over like an hairy garment, what it's saying is, you know, that just because back in those days, as we reading, they would have a skin, and they would have a skin of an animal and would dye it red. Okay. So it was comparing him to that because he came out of the womb red, you know. It's all over like an hairy garment. And they call his name Esau, which really Esau. And you look it up in the Hebrew, this right now, it say Ishua, but I believe it's Ishashua. All right. And it means wasted away is he. All right. Because you look at a so-called white person, their blood shows forth through their skin. That's why it says in the first came out red. Okay. That's why they have that, for example, right? I mean, they even had the term redneck, man. All right. Why you think this term is associated with white people? Okay. They have that. You know, all right. Let me see. For example, right? Let's look at Donald Trump. Okay, Donald Trump. All right. For example, right? If you look at his face, okay, look. All right, his face, his skin color is red because his blood shows forth through his skin. His collar is white. Okay, this is the case with so-called white people. Okay, and so-called because they're not white. You know, see. The skin, you see, they're two different colors. Look right here, they're two different colors, man. Not that same color. All right, so he's a so-called white man. He's an Edomite, man. All right, let me look at the word pigment. Well, I'm gonna type in this actually. Can people have pigmentation? Oh, pigmentation. It says yes, all people have pigmentation except for Esau, right? It says as it refers to the natural coloring of the skin determined by the amount of melanin produced by cells and melanocytes. Essentially, everyone has some level of skin pigmentation, although the degree of pigmentation can vary greatly between individuals depending on genetics and environmental factors like sun exposure. All right. So the reason it says wasted away is he because Esau's pigmentation was wasted away. All right, that was wasted away. Okay, and um, and it's and then you see this within the so-called white men. Their blood shows forth through their skin, man. Okay, so that's why I call it. He came out of the womb red. All right, with his blood showing forth through his skin. You know, it's up real quick, man. Okay, you see it. You know, all right, there you go. Because of their skin, you see that Esau came out with skin color like this. All right, because his blood um shows forth through his skin, man. Okay. So it says, verse 26, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel. And his name was called Jacob. So after Jacob was born, right after Jacob came out, he grabbed on to Esau's heel. Okay. And that was symbolic. All right. We're going to get that in a minute. It says that his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 60 years old, meaning 60 years old when she bare them. So he was 60-year old by the time she birthed Jacob and Esau, right? And I still got the word Jacob, right? Strong's H 3290. And the name Jacob is here. All right, the way you say this is Yaquab. Okay. It says Jacob heel holder, but it means supplanter. Okay. And supplanter, let's look it up. All right. It says to supersede and replace. Pretty much, all right, because I don't have to look it up, but supplanter means, when you getting over on somebody, you trick someone to get over on them pretty much, like for example, right? And this is a characteristic that the descendants of Jacob, the Israelites, have. For example, Jake might tell his wife, that he's going out, but he's supplanting her because really, he'll go out, and if he's dealing with another woman, which is totally fine, he'll tell her he's going out, but he's going to really go see her. Okay, that's an example of supplanting. Which once again, I don't think that I'm saying that like there's something wrong with having more than one wife. All right, as long as she ain't married. All right, but it says Jacob took hold on Esau's heel. Okay, now that was symbolic. All right, when I say symbolic, like it actually happened, but it meant something. Okay, Jacob literally did grab on Esau's heel. This is the book of Ezra, Second Ezra, chapter 6. All right, starting at verse 7, and it says, "Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?" Meaning, the prophet Ezra was asking, when is going to be the end of pretty much when is the kingdom? All right. Verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac. See, now he's recalling the story. When Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. All right. Verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world. And this word world here is age, meaning a period of time. Because Ecclesiastes 1 and 4 says the earth abideth forever. All right. So this is dealing with a period of time that Esau is going to be ruling. It says Esau is the end of the world. So he'd be ruling at the end of the world and will be taken down. And Jacob, the Israelites, is the beginning of it that follows. So after Esau goes down, the Israelites are going to be the next ones ruling over the world forever. Okay, you see. So that's what it meant when Jacob grabbed on Esau's heel. That was set up by the Lord, man. Okay, it says that his name was called Jacob, and Isaac was 60 years old when she bare them. It says, and the boys grew. Okay, and by the way, let me get this. All right, so I mean, it tracks it down to how it was shot. However, right? Um, Wait a 1 second. All right, let me get this. All right, so as you see, just show. Matter of fact, hold on, let me see if there's a better one. Okay. There we go. If there's a load. All right, you know, I'm just gonna get the other one. All right, so as we see here, okay, just showing you the timeline. No, it's like not timeline, but like a family tree, pretty much. Right. So from Abraham to Jacob. All right. So here you got Abraham, and then he had Ishmael by Hagar, Isaac by Sarah, and by Keturah he had these different sons. Okay. You see, but Abraham. Okay, this is the seed line we come from Abraham, then Isaac. All right, then Isaac, Rebecca had what? Jacob. Okay, and then Jacob had the 12 tribes of Israel, man. He had sons of him, and we descend from them, man. All right, so we come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That is the seed line the Lord is dealing with. Okay, not Abraham, Isaac, and Esau, not Abraham, Ishmael, not Abraham. All right, and these sons of Keturah, no, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and the Israelites. All right, if you come from that seed line, you're an Israelite, a Hebrew Israelite, man. All right, so and those people that come from there are the so-called Negroes, West Indians, Haitians, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, man. All right, as you see in this chart right here. All right, boom. See, you know. So Genesis 25 and 27, it says, "And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field." All right, and this we see his characteristics today. All right, but it says Esau was a cunning hunter, man of the field, and the so-called white man, he likes to go duck hunting, rock climbing. He likes to do things of the field, man. It says, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. Yeah, so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, for the most part, like to just be homebodies. Just like to chill. We like to chill, man. We ain't trying to be out all night. You know, most of the time, ain't trying to be out all night, every day, all day, every day. We like to chill, man. Okay. Says verse 28, and Isaac loved Esau, but he did because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Verse 29, and Jacob sod pottage, which means to cook or boil, and this pottage had meat in it, okay? Just because you had some guys back then that would say that it didn't, all right? But it had meat, all right? It says that Jacob sod pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint, all right? Esau came from the field, he was tired. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, okay? And why was it red? Because it was undercooked, all right? And if you could go online and see that, um, you could go online and see that pretty much that so-called white people, man, they love eating raw meat, man. Meat that's not cooked, okay? You know, they love eating, undercooked meat, man. They'll literally go to the supermarket and um grab some meat off of the shelf like a piece of steak, pay for it, walk out with it, go to their car or wherever or in private and just start snacking on it. You know. So it says Esau said to Jacob, "Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint." All right, he was tired. All right, so therefore was his name called Edom, which the name Edom, all right, means red. All right, give me 1 second. Okay, Edom means red. Let me just see if I could find it real quick. See, Adawam. It says Adama right here, but that's not it. All right, but it's Adawam. Okay, and it means red. It's not Adama. Okay. You know, the way you say Edom in the Hebrew is Adawam. Okay. And it means red. All right. So going back up, Genesis 25 and uh verse 31, it says, and Jacob said, so Esau was tired, right? And he wanted the pottage, man. He wanted it. He was tired, right? Verse 31. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. So you see, Jacob is supplanting Esau right here. Okay, because Jacob knows that he's tired. All right, but Jacob wanted the birthright. Okay. So he's getting over on him. You see? He's supplanting him. Okay, and this was all set up by the Lord. Wasn't nothing wrong with this here, right? You know, for anyone saying that Jacob stole the birthright, nah, man, look, he just says, sell me this day thy birthright, right? Verse 32, and Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? Okay. Verse 33, and Jacob said, swear to me this day, and he sware unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. See? Esau sware unto him, and what? He sold his birthright unto Jacob, man. You know? Verse 34, then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. Okay? I mean, Esau didn't want the birthright. And just to show you that that this pottage had meat, this is the book of Hebrews 12, verse 16. And it says, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of what meat sold his birthright. Okay. There you go. All right. So real quick now, right? Let's get something. Let's go to the book Romans chapter 9. So this, is milk. All right. Piece of the part of the milk, understanding Jacob and Esau, man. And Christians have a problem with this. Okay. But you gotta understand, man, hey, look, the Lord set it up like this, man. All right, and let's get this real quick. All right, so we read down to verse 8. Romans, so now reading from verse 9. Starting verse 9. Romans chapter 9 and verse 9. Starting verse 9 says, for this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son, Isaac. And not only this, but when Jacob. And not only this, but when Rebekah had also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, right? Because Isaac and Rebekah had children. They had Jacob and Esau, right? It says, for the children, Jacob and Esau, being not yet born, they weren't born yet, neither having done any good or evil. They hadn't done any good evil yet, pretty much, is that the purpose of the Most High, according to election, might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. Let me read that in the NLT so you can understand. Romans 9 and 11 in NLT. But before they were born, before they had done anything good or bad, she received a message from God. This message shows that God chooses people according to his own purposes. So the Lord, it wasn't based on anything Jacob and Esau had done. All right. The Lord had already predetermined. Let me look at that word predetermined real quick. Predetermined. It says established or decided in advance. Okay, so the Lord already predetermined, all right, who he was gonna choose and reject. The Lord already predetermined that he was gonna choose Jacob and reject Esau, man. Okay, you know, the Lord already predetermined it, man. You see, not based on anything that they had done. It says neither they hadn't done anything good or evil, right? Verse 12, it was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. And yeah, by the way, about that real quick, because up here it said the elder shall serve the younger, right? Elder. So who came out of the womb first? Esau. Who came out of the womb second? Jacob. All right. So the person who come out of the womb second, Slaki, the person who come out of the womb first, all right, which is Esau, him and his nation of people, the Edomites, so-called white people, they're going to serve Jacob, the person who came out of the womb second, Jacob and his nation of people, the Israelites, all right, as slaves in the kingdom of heaven. All right, so that has yet to be fulfilled, and the elder shall serve the younger, which is about to come. Romans 9:12 now says, it was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger, as it is written, as it is written. It's already it's put in stone, man. Jacob have I loved. The Lord loves Jacob, all right, and his descendants. All right, it says, but Esau have I hated. See? And the Lord hates Esau and his descendants. It's as simple as that. Listen, you devils, man, that wanna you so-called white people, man, that think you're gonna go to heaven. Well, so I mean, everybody goes to heaven, so to speak. All right, but you so-called white people, man, that think that you are going to just you know to think that you're just gonna that you trying to call yourself believing in God, going to church and everything, thinking you're gonna be a thinking that the kingdom of heaven is for you and everything, man. No, man, no. All right, just no. Okay, all right. That's just not what it is. Okay, now, right. This scripture, Romans 9:13. All right, this comes from Malachi 1. All right, Malachi 1 verse 2 says, I have loved you, saith Yahweh, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Talking about us, the Israelites. Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith Yahweh, yet I love Jacob. And you see this attitude within the Israelites today, They we tell them like, pretty much that they'll say, how does the Lord love us with all this hell we catching? That's how they feel. Okay. It says, verse 3, and I hated Esau, see? And I hated Esau, laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Okay. Let me go to scripture, just showing you in the next verse, right? Verse 4. Showing that the Lord is angry. He hates Esau, man. You know, and he can do it. It's his movie. Malachi, what you gonna get into? Malachi 1:4. Whereas Edom said, these are so Edom, all right, as a whole, all right, as a either Edomites, they are the nation, all right. They're a nation of people. They are the so-called white people. That is their true identity. The Edomites, man, the nation of Edom, and their forefather is Esau. Okay, so it says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. And this happened when they came back in power during the Renaissance. Are you so-called white people? Your power was reborn into the earth, okay, during the time of the Renaissance. It says, thus saith the Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. This is in the Bible. So wherever, pretty much you so-called white people, man, you're just, you're just the wicked, okay? You are literally the wicked, man. All right. You know, you're literally the wicked. Okay. Wait 1 second. Are you thinking Second Thessalonians? It says, then shall that wicked be revealed. Wickedness is within y'all, man. All right. It says, and here's the point: the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. Let me look at this word indignation. Indignation, Za'im. Okay. And it says what? It says to denounce, express indignation, be indignant. To have indignation, be indignant, be angrily indignant, be defiant. All right. To show indignation, show anger. All right. Let me look it up on Google what it means. All right. It says indignation is a strong feeling of displeasure or anger that is aroused by something that is considered unjust, Esau, offensive, Esau, insulting, or unrighteous. You know, yeah. So indignation is righteous anger. Okay. So the Lord hates you devils, man. He hates you, literally. It's in the Bible. It's in the Bible, man. Okay. So going back, right, Romans 9. And you can't take this out of the Bible. I don't care what you try. You can't take it out of the Bible, man. Romans 9:13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. See? Verse 14. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? So is the Lord unfair because he chose Jacob and rejected Esau? God forbid, meaning no, he's not. For he saith to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So the Lord, just like he told Moses, all right, that he's going to have mercy and compassion on whoever he wants. So verse 16, so then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of the Most High that showeth mercy. I'm going to read that in the NLT. Okay. It says, so it is Yahweh who decides to show mercy. We can neither choose it nor work for it. So it ain't nothing you can do, all right, for the Lord to choose you, man. Okay. It's the same here with Esau, Jacob and Esau, okay? The Lord, he wants to. This is his movie. He's the creator. How the fuck are you gonna tell somebody how to create or run their creation? You know, this is the thing with Christians and everything in the world. You tell them the Lord has a chosen people and he loves only them. It doesn't, and it's not with everybody else. They'll say, well, that doesn't make sense, man. How can the Lord do so? How can the Lord do that? How can he made everybody? So what? Okay, just like you have a director in a movie. Not every, I mean, the director put those people in the movie, right? But not everybody has the choice role. Okay. Verse 17, for the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Therefore hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will he hardeneth. Thou wilt say then unto me, why doth he yet find fault? And for who hath resisted his will? Somebody will say, you know, why, so if the Lord, makes everyone do what he wants, you know, why does he find fault or error with somebody? The thing is, you really shouldn't even ask that question. Okay, verse 20, nay, but oh man, who art thou that replies against the Most High? Right. Once again, you shouldn't even ask that question, man. Who are you to be speaking against the Lord? Asking such a question. I mean, I get it. People, ask for understanding, but you shouldn't even be asking that. Shall a thing form say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Verse 21, hath not the potter, you ever seen pottery before? Okay. You've taken a ceramics class, all right, and you understand what's being talked about here, man. All right. But pottery, man. Okay. These, all right, the different things of clay, like this is pottery. This had to be made by somebody, okay? And the one making it would be considered the potter. All right. So in representation, the Lord is the potter, and we're the clay. The Lord created us, right? So it says, verse 21, hath not the potter power over the clay of the same lump, right? Of the same lump of clay. Okay. And with Jacob and Esau, hey, the lump is the seed line, the same lump, right? Jacob and Esau have to come from the same person, come from the same people, Abraham and Isaac, right? It says of the same lump to make one vessel on the honor and another to on a dishonor. NLT. Get that in NLT, man. All right. It says when a potter makes jars out of clay, doesn't he have a right to use the same lump of clay to make one for? Yeah, look, doesn't he have a right to use the same lump of clay? See, because I mean he's the one making it, so it's up to him. It says to make one jar for decoration and another to throw garbage into. All right, so that's how it is, man. So somebody who would ask, well, why the Lord, if he made everyone do his will, why he find fault? Because the Lord has power, all right, to do what he wants. Okay. No, that's just simple. It's just simply the answer is simply because that's how he wants it. It's his movie. All right. You know. So people have a problem with that, but that's too bad. It is what it is. Okay. But now moving on, Genesis 26 now. All right. And I mean, it ain't really, regarding Jacob and Esau, I don't really. I'll just read through it. All right. So it says Isaac settles in Gerar, and there was a famine in the land beside the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went into Abimelech, king of the Philistines under Gerar. And Yahweh Let me see if I could look it up. Let me just see. Gerar, Gerar in Hebrew, literally Gerar. All right, and it says a lodging place, a Philistine town south of Gaza, modern Okay, so it's saying Gerar is like over here. All right, somewhere in this area. Okay, so it says, Salakia, Salakia. It says that Isaac went unto Abimelech, the king of the Philistines, under Gerar, and Yahweh appeared unto him and said, Go not down into Egypt, dwell in the land which I shall tell thee of. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee, and will bless thee. For unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath which I swear unto Abraham thy father, and I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and will give unto thy seed all these countries. And in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because that Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge and my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. And Isaac dwelt in Gerar, and the men of the place asked him of his wife. And he said, She is my sister. But he feared to say, She is my wife, lest, said he, the men of the place should kill me for Rebekah, because she was fair to look upon. So he told them, that Rebekah was his sister, you know, and not his wife, because he figured, the people would kill him to get Rebekah because she was attractive, right? Verse 8. And it came to pass when he had been there a long time that Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out of the window and saw, and behold, Isaac was sporting with Rebekah his wife. And Abimelech called Isaac and said, Behold, of a surety she is thy wife. And how saidst thou, she is my sister? So he's like, She's definitely your wife. How are you saying she's your sister? And Isaac said unto him, Because I said, Lest I die for her. Verse 10. And Abimelech said, What is it that thou hast done unto us? One of the people might lightly have lying with thy wife, and thou shouldest have brought guiltiness upon us. And Abimelech charged all his people, saying, He that toucheth this man or his wife shall surely be put to death. And Isaac sowed in that land and received in the same year an hundredfold, and Yahweh blessed him. And the man waxed great, and went forward and grew until he became very great. For he had possession of flocks and possession of herds and great store of servants, and the Philistines envied him. Keep in mind, Isaac is Yahweh Shai in a past reincarnation, right? Verse 15. For all the wells which his father's servants had digged in the days of Abraham his father, the Philistines had stopped them and filled them with earth. And Abimelech said to Isaac, Go from us, for thou art much mightier than we. And Isaac departed thence and pitched his tent in the valley of Gerar and dwelt there. See, now it says quarrel over the wells. And Isaac digged again the wells of water, which they had digged in the days of Abraham his father, for the Philistines had stopped them after the death of Abraham. And he called their names after the names by which his father had called them. And Isaac's servants digged in the valley and found there a well of spring and water. And the herdmen of Gerar did strive with Isaac's herdmen, saying, The water is ours. And he called the name of the well Esek, because they strove with him. You can look that word up, but it means like striving, arguments, pretty much. And they digged another well and strove for that also. And he called the name of it Sitnah. And he removed from thence and digged another well, and for that they strove not. And he called the name of it Rehoboth, and he said, For now Yahweh hath made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in the land. And he went up from thence to Beersheba, and Yahweh appeared unto him the same night, and said, I am Yahweh, I am the God of Abraham thy father. Fear not, for I am with thee, and will bless thee, will multiply thy seed for my servant Abraham's sake. And he builded an altar there, and called upon the name of Yahweh, and pitched his tent there. And there Isaac's servants digged a well. It says that Abimelech went to him from Gerar, and Ahuzzath, one of his friends, and Phicol, the chief captain of his army. So here they sent Isaac away. Now they go into him, right? Verse 27. And Isaac said unto them, Wherefore come ye to me, seeing ye hate me, and have sent me away from you? And they said, we saw certainly that Yahweh was with thee. And we said, let there be now an oath betwixt, meaning between us, even between us and thee, and let us make a covenant or agreement with thee, that thou wilt do us no hurt, as we have not touched thee, and as we have done unto thee nothing but good, and have sent thee away in peace. Thou art now the blessed of Yahweh. Verse 30, and he made them a feast, and they did eat and drink, and they rose up betimes in the morning, and sware one to another, and Isaac sent them away, and they departed from him in peace. And it came to pass the same day that Isaac's servants came and told him concerning the well which they had digged, and said unto him, we have found water, and he called it Sheba. Therefore the name of the city is Beersheba unto this day. And Esau was 40 years old. So Esau this time was 40 years old, right? When he took to wife Judith, the daughter of Beeri the Hittite, and Bashemath, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, which were a grief of mine unto Isaac and Rebekah. So here it is. Esau already is doing bad from the beginning, man. All right. Already grieving his mother and father. You see? The 27th chapter. Genesis 27, starting verse 1. And it came to pass, and this is Jacob's deception, but as we read, the Lord was with it. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so now Isaac, was elderly at this time, right? Says so that he could not see. His vision wasn't too good, right? So that he could not see, couldn't see. He called Esau his eldest son and said unto him, my son. And he said unto him, behold, here am I. And he said, behold, now I am old. I know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver, and thy bow, and go out to the field, and take me some venison, and make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. So Isaac is old, Isaac is old, all right, and he wants, and he tell Esau to go catch him, make some venison, like, that he loves, right? you know. So, and then he would bless him before he dies, right? Give him a blessing. This was important, man. All right, because this was important, man. I'm glad the Lord set it up the way he did, for real, right? However, verse 5, and Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son. So Rebekah was listening, and Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it. So Esau, once again, he was a hunter. So he went out and was looking, to hunt so he could, bring it back to Isaac. It says, and Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, bring me venison and make me savory meat, that I may eat and bless thee before Yahweh before my death. Right? Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Right? So Rebekah, told Jacob, that he heard um Isaac telling Esau to go catch him venison and make him meat like he likes, so he could bless him before he dies. So Becca heard that and told Jacob that, right? So she said, now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. So she like telling him, listen, do what I say, right? Verse 9, go now to the flock and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats, right? And I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless, that he may bless thee before his death. So here it is, man. Hey, man, Koholo Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh. He set it up like this. You're gonna see, okay? Because the blessing that went to Jacob, all right. Initially, Isaac was gonna give it to Esau, but that's not how the Lord set it up, okay? And if it did go through that way, you know, man, I'll just say right now we would have been in trouble, okay? We would have been in some real trouble right now. All right. The Lord didn't have it set up like that. You see? It says, now shalt bring it to thy father. And that, we just read in Genesis 25, the elder shall serve the younger. But you're gonna get into, relating the two, showing you, relate how it relates and everything. All right. So there you go. Okay. Is it the elder shall serve the younger, man? All right. So it was already set up 2 chapters ago for the Lord, to have Jacob get the W, pretty much, right? It says, and thou shalt bring it to thy father, and Jacob is the progenitor. Let's look that word up. Progenitor. I'll look it up actually. All right. Progenitor definition. Progenitor says a person or thing from which a person, animal, or plant is descended or originates, an ancestor or a parent. All right. So Jacob is the progenitor or ancestor or forefather of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. Esau is the progenitor, ancestor, or forefather of you so-called white people. You see? So y'all lost and we won. Okay. All right. And it's going and it's playing out. It's it's gonna play out. All right. In real time, man. These are, it's gonna play out. You see, you gonna see. All right. As we read, it says, "Now shall I bring to thy father that he may eat and that he may bless you before his death." All right. So pretty much Rebecca told Jacob, look, go get 2 kids of the goats, right? So she can kill them, cook them as Isaac likes, and that he could bless Jacob instead of Esau before he dies. Get that so that he could give Jacob the blessing that he would have gave Esau before he dies, right? And you'll see that it was set up in the spirit, all right, that it was supposed to be like that. All right, so verse 11. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, "Behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man." Okay. And this goes, Esau was a hairy man. And this goes to show you that, Edomites are hairy. This explains why when you have that, going back to that German tapestry, of the wild men over there in Europe. Okay, those wild men were Edomites, man. And when you look at the tapestry, right, they were hairy. You see, you know, hairy people. This was lit. This was real. Okay, even though it's a tapestry, this was real, man. The hairy people. You know, these devils, they could shave and everything. They could, trim themselves and all that. And in the kingdom, man, just imagine how disgusting they're going to be. All right, these so-called white people. And somebody would say, "Oh, you're being racist." Well, I'm reading the scriptures, man. Okay, you know, I'm interpreting the scriptures as it's supposed to be interpreted, telling the truth. So if you don't like it, you have a problem with the Lord. Let me just make sure everything is going good here. Okay. If you don't like it, you have a problem with the Lord, man. In the way He set things up, you're going to be destroyed. All right. So Genesis 27:11, and Jacob said to Rebekah, his mother, "Behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I'm a smooth man." So he said, so Jacob is telling Rebekah, Esau is hairy. I'm not I'm a smooth man. He hairy. My father will peradventure, meaning perhaps, my father perhaps will feel me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me, not a blessing. So once again, Jacob is telling Rebecca, like, look, Esau, he hairy. I'm a smooth man. I go over there and try to, I go over there and try to get the blessing instead of Esau. Isaac might touch me, and he gonna realize that I'm trying to deceive him. And instead of me getting the blessing, I'm gonna get a curse on me. Right? But look what Rebecca said, verse 13. And his mother said unto him, "Upon me be thy curse, my son. Only obey my voice and go fetch me them." And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother. And his mother made savory meat, such as his father loved. Okay? This is going to show you, man, because Jake, man, love their mothers, man. I'm telling you. You know, you better not talk about my mama. Right? Verse 15. And Rebekah took goodly raiment, meaning clothes, okay, of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob, her younger son. So she took goodly clothes of Esau, and put them on Jacob. Right. Meanwhile, Esau, keep in mind, keep in the context, Esau is not in the house right now. He out trying to get venison, okay, so he can to bring Isaac, right? This is all happening while Esau is away. The Lord has it set up like this. All right. It says verse 16, and she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands and upon the smooth of his neck. So in case she did this, she put the skins of it on Jacob's neck and his hands, okay? So in case Isaac was to touch him, he would feel hairy and think that it's Esau, think that he's Esau, right? Verse 17, and she gave the savory meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob. And he came unto his father and said, My father. And he said, Here am I. And he said, Here am I. Who art thou, my son? So Isaac, like, I'm here. Who are you, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, and this is Jacob pretending to be Esau, right? And once again, it's set up through the spirit. It says, I am Esau, thy firstborn. I have done according as thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac said unto his son, How is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, Because Yahweh thy power brought it to me. And man, you could just see through the spirit, because man, Jacob know how to, Jake, knows how to Jake know how to, supplant, man. Jake know how to supplant, Jake know how to get over, Jake, man, look, man, Jake can be witty. Okay, Jake could be real witty and thinking real quick, you know. Says and you see the same characteristics today, but he has said this back then. Okay. Let me see. Did Rebecca tell him to see that? So yeah, all right. It says, verse 21, and Isaac said unto Jacob, Come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. You see? He wanted to feel him. Verse 22, and Jacob went near, so he wanted to feel him to make sure that he was to see if he was Esau or not, right? Verse 22. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him and said, The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy as his brother Esau's hand. So he blessed him. You see? So it was set up through the spirit that Jacob received a blessing, you know? And this is why Esau hates Jake, man. This is part of the reason why Esau hates Jake, because Jake got the blessing and was planning. It's like Jake got the blessing, it's the plan of Esau, man. This is why Esau hates Jake. All right, it's why he hates you tribes, man. All right, because this blessing, he feels was supposed to go to him. All right, but really it's for us. Okay, so that he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy as his brother Esau's hand. So he blessed him. Verse 24, and he said, Art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. See? And he said, Bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank. See, so yeah, Isaac was, eating. All right, you know. So, and it says, so he blessed him, man. So hey, so he got to bless him now. All right, getting into it. Verse 26, and his father Isaac said unto him, Come near now and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his raiment and blessed him. Because remember, he had on Esau's clothing. All right. So he smelled like Esau. It says, and blessed him and says, See, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which Yahweh has blessed. Right. And listen, verse 28 says, Therefore, God give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. All right. So this, I'm in verse 29. Says, Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. Okay? So in this blessing, man, this blessing is better than the blessing that Esau receives. Okay? And we Israelites, we still have yet for this. Okay? This is going to come real soon. Right? See, this blessing is going to last forever. Esau's blessing is temporary, man. So let me read it again. Genesis 27 and 28. This blessing was supposed to go to Esau, but, well, not really. It wasn't really supposed to go to him, but, in the context we're reading, all right, Esau being the firstborn, firstborn normally gets the blessing, right? Verse 20, therefore God will give thee the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth. Now, let's look at the fatness of the earth, okay? Let's look this up real quick. All right, fatness, mashman, right? And it says fatness, fat piece, fertile place, richly prepared food, fatness, fat pieces, olive oil, right? Fatness, stout, vigorous, fertile spots or places. Okay, so blessing is all right that for Jacob is that the Israelites, right? Jacob, right, and his descendants, the Israelites, all right, will have the fatness of the earth. Okay, that's part of the blessing that they're going to have the fatness of the earth, man. All right, you know, they're gonna have all they're gonna have control of the and possession of the Salakia. They're gonna have control and possession of the earth's resources. Okay, you know, and also they're gonna have the best parts of the world in their possession, in our possession, man. Okay, let me just look up because you have you have these different night beautiful places around the world, man. You know, and right now, Esau has all of this under in his possession. Okay, they have all of this, man. You know, and they also have the resources and all that. Okay, they have all of this in their possession. See, they're blessing us now. We're gonna get that. All right, but soon come the Israelites, man. We're gonna have this all to ourselves. To us, man. We're gonna have different stuff like this. You see, we're gonna have different stuff like this, man. All right, hey, the book of Psalms, right, or Psalm chapter 2 verse 8 says this, right? It says, "Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession." See, we're gonna have all of this, man, right? So back in Genesis 27:29, now it says, "Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee." Okay, and hey, so the Israelites are gonna have all nations of people in the world, all right, serve them in the end. Okay, the Israelites are going to rule over all the nations. You see? Let me get this is the book of Isaiah. Actually, Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 16. And it says, Salakia. Says, "Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey." All right. So they're gonna be so the heathen nations are gonna go into slavery. Any nation that's not an Israelite is a heathen nation. So all right, and there's more heathens. All right, there's only one nation, Israel. The rest are heathens. Okay. So the nations are gonna serve Israel, man. They're gonna serve us Israelites. Isaiah chapter 14, starting in verse 1. "For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel." See, the Lord gonna have mercy on whom you will have mercy, man, and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, because we're gonna go back to our own land. "And the strangers shall be joined with them." You see, and this strangers is talking about Israelites, because that word strangers in there is gar. Okay, all right, which goes back to Moses' son Gershom. All right, which means because I believe Moses was in a strange land when he had Gershom. So, like if I'm wrong, all right, about Moses being in a strange land, but it goes back to meaning gar. So these strangers are Israelites. All right, says, "And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob." Okay, verse 2 is the point. "And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them, the heathen, and the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids." See, it's going to be that fulfillment of that blessing. "And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors." So, being that in the book of Genesis, it says that the Israelites are going to have people serve them and bow down to them. Why people getting mad at us when we say it? I mean, so it goes to show that we preaching the truth. We're in the right when we say that um, nations are going to serve. Okay, it says, "Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee." All right, and guess what? Esau was the brother of Jacob, so he will be a servant to Jacob. Esau going to be a servant to Jacob. "The elder shall serve the younger." Okay, so it's cursed to be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. So Jacob received this blessing. It's set in stone. It was set already. Okay. And now we're just gonna have to live it out. And then see, they said the stolen blessing, man. All right. You know, which as we read, Esau sold the birthright. Okay. It was set up in the spirit. Romans 9, etc. Okay. So it's not stolen. This is what the Lord wanted to happen. If the Lord didn't want it to happen, it wouldn't happen. Verse 30. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau had, his brother, came in from his hunter. So now Esau then came back. Let me get this in the NLT. Right? NLT. As soon as Isaac had finished blessing Jacob, and almost before Jacob had left his father, let me read it in NIV. As after Isaac finished blessing him, and Jacob had scarcely left his father's presence, his brother Esau came from hunting. All right. So now Esau came back, right? But Jacob was gone already. It says yet scarcely gone, but he was gone. All right. So Esau came back from hunting. It says, and he also had made savory meat and brought it unto his father. Because remember, Isaac told Esau to go get savory meat and bring it back to him, you know, so he could eat and bless him. And now Esau then came back. It says, and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. See, so now Esau is back. Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest and have blessed him. You see? So Isaac was like, wait, weren't you just here? Pretty much, he was like, who was the person that just came over here and did that? And who came over here and received a blessing and gave me the venison? You know? He was like, who was that? And he was talking about Jacob. You know, that person was Jacob. And he blessed him. And guess what he said? Yea. And it says, yea, and he shall be blessed. So you see, it was already set up in the spirit. So even after he said that, he said, yea, and he shall be blessed. So it's set in stone. Let me see if I get that in the NLT. Isaac began to tremble uncontrollably and said, then who just served me wild game? I have already eaten it, and I blessed him just before you came in. Yes, that blessing must stand. See? So we have the blessing. We got the birthright and the blessing. And guess, look what Esau did next. Verse 34, and when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry. And said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. Esau was crying like a little bitch, man. You know? And he said a great and exceeding bitter cry. You know? So imagine how Esau was crying. He probably turned red in the face, snotting and crying. You know? You know how hyperventilating. All right. Verse 35, it says, and he said, thy brother came with subtlety and hath taken away thy blessing. Somebody say, well, see, he says taken away doesn't still. The Lord set it up. Verse 36, and he said, is not he rightly named Jacob, for he has supplanted me these two times? See, because Jacob means supplanter. It says, for he has supplanted me these two times. See, he took away my birthright, which he didn't take it away, as we just read. It says it. You could look up yourself. Genesis 25 said, and he sold his birthright to Jacob. Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. He sold it. So Esau gave it to him, man. You know? So here the Esau over here being a bitch now, man. It says, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? So he asked Isaac, like, so he took away my birthright and my blessing. But do you have a blessing for me now? Verse 37, Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? Okay. Verse 38, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. So Esau begging for a blessing, man. Isaac just said up here, what shall I do now unto thee, my son? All right. But nevertheless, Esau got a blessing too, right? Verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. And the dew of heaven from above, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. So Esau currently, and that's why they have, you look at, once again, they have control of this. They have the control of the world, the earth, the resources and everything, you know? So uh, right now they living in a blessing. This is, let me see. All right, I mean, you can read this. Oh, verse 7. Actually, no, I'm not gonna get it right now. All right. Yeah, they have, that's why you see, so-called white people, man, they have a lot, you know. They have big houses, okay? You know, they have big houses and everything, you know. And even if it's not as extravagant as this, all right, but they have I mean, like, who do you think owns this, man? I mean, I mean, you have some other nations that are rich, but for the most part, Esau owns stuff like this, man. Okay, you know, Esau for the most part owns stuff like this. They have that, they have, money and everything, etc. Jake don't got that right now for the most part. All right, the average Edomite does well for himself. All right, but it's gonna switch. It's gonna switch, man. Lord willing, it switches this year. All right, that goes into Lazarus and the rich man. Esau represents the rich man. Lazarus represents the Israelites. It's a parable. All right. So Genesis 27 and 40 now says, and by thy sword shalt thou live. All right. Esau, Salaki says, do it heaven from above. All right. Because they have control of the airways, man. They have, the helicopters and everything, space stations, planes, and all of that. All right. So they have that. It says, and by thy sword shalt thou live. And that's why you see them, for example, they have the blessing of weaponry. Blessing of the sword. They are, that's why you see them with missiles. All right. And then another thing too, they'll go to the gun range. They go to the gun range often. All right. And are good at shooting guns and everything. You know, Jake, when he has the gun, he'll turn it to the side and shoot. All right. Because the sword is not his blessing. Esau shoot with accuracy, pinpoint accuracy, man. All right. It says, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Okay. So let me just finish it out. The chapter, verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of and this is all temporary that Esau has, okay? Because Jacob hasn't received his blessing yet. Esau, all right. Hey, Esau is gonna receive Esau has received his blessing, okay? But his blessing is temporary, you know. The sword, I mean, in the kingdom of heaven, the sword ain't, what is that going to do? What is Esau not? When I say what is that going to do, meaning like pretty much, I'm trying to say is look, that his blessing is going to be done away with. All right, I'm gonna just put it like that. Verse 41. And I'm gonna say that instead. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing with his father blessed him. And this is why a lot of this is why Esau hates you, man. Hates you Israelites, you tribes and everything, man. Going back to the blessing and the birthright. All right. That's why they treat you the way that they do. You know, even though they may not know it just because of the blessing, but they got some in them to where they hate you, Israelites. Okay. It says, and Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. And these words of Esau, her her elder son, were told to Rebekah. And she sent and called Jacob her younger son, and said unto him, behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, doth comfort himself, purposing to kill thee. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice and arise, flee thou to Laban my brother to Haran, and tarry with him a few days until thy brother's fury turn away, until thy brother's anger turn away from thee, and he forget that which thou hast done to him. Then I will send and fetch thee from thence. Why should I be deprived also of you both in one day? And Rebekah said to Isaac, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob take up the daughters of Heth, such as these which are the daughters of the land, what good shall my life do me? All right. So that was Genesis 25 to 27, going to the story of Jacob and Esau. All right. I really could have just skipped 27, but I just wanted to read through. So, hey, Lord was edifying, giving all the praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Hakodash, double honors to the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, every well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. Shalom to the elect.